You know, one of the most underutilized features inside PowerPoint is the use of sections. Now, by default, when you create a PowerPoint presentation, there is a default section inside your PowerPoint presentation. However, as you start to build out a presentation which has increasingly more content, more points that you want to make, sections start to make a lot more sense to help you organize your ideas and the story you want to tell. But in addition to that, it can also give you capabilities around navigation that will help you to take somebody who's viewing your presentation on in a journey and get them to orient themselves to sections which essentially make sense. So I wanted to show you how that works in a presentation here. So I'm utilizing my cheese effect presentation here, which we've used before to look at some results and those sorts of things. But I've got pretty much all my slides in one consistent flow. Now, I only have really about 8 slides, but as you start to get to a presentation of some length, this is where sections start to come in. Now, I do have some logical sections here, but before I do, what I wanted to do is show you how this sort of looks in terms of different views. So a really common view that people use is the slide sort of view. And so when you don't have a section, all we'll get is just slide after slide after slide after slide after slide coming through the presentation itself. So what we want to do here is add some sections. So the first section I'll add here is, you know, what we sell. And then the other section here, we'll add another one here called business results. And we'll add one more here just for our end section. We'll call this end. So now if I switch back to slide sorter, what you'll see is it defines some structure within the actual presentation itself. And because we have some of those structures, we can organize and sort sections a lot better. So if I want to lead with the business results up front instead of the what we sell, I can actually drag that section up above and have that in the same order. So now I've got business results and then what we sell. If I want to put what we sell back, I can put that up and, well, let's just drag this down. Now it doesn't want to play with me. Let's drag end down to the bottom, and there we've got the order back in line. So it can help us to order our thoughts, but in addition, a useful thing to do is to utilize the sections as ways to say I want to address some questions. So it might be question 1. What is it we sell? Right? So it might be addressing a question or a point you want to get across. Question 2 or point 2 might be, how successful are we? So your sections are not going to come up in the actual presentation itself. In fact, if I go through here and click through our slides, you don't see those section names come in. But as a designer for your PowerPoint, you can start to structure and organize your thoughts and ideas around the questions that you're actually making, which is very, very powerful. Now, in addition to that, I talked a little bit about how sections also give you a different approach to navigation. Today, if I do a presentation and click through, I'm going to go slide by slide by slide by slide. Now, what I can do is add in something like a table of contents, right? So I could do table of contents, and I could go through here and say Edam, cheese, and Gouda, cheese. And this takes some time, but I could then go through and say insert a bookmark, or a link, sorry, this document, and we want to go to Edam cheese, hit OK. So if I click on Edam cheese, it takes me there straight away. But it's a fairly static way. It doesn't give you the flexibility to organize things the way you want. So what I'm going to do is remove this, and I can add in here, if I go to insert, something a bit more visual, I can add in those particular slides. So I can see here, there's mozzarella, there's Gouda, there's Edam. Now in my presentation, Edam's the first slide for that section. So maybe I'll delete out those cheeses, right? So I'll just have the one cheese at the beginning because that's where I'm starting from. And I'll put in a text box which says what we sell, right? Because this is where I want to go to. So I click presentation and then click Edam cheese, and great. Everything works really, really nicely. But there's a flaw in this. The flaw is if I were to come back in and reorganize my thoughts, and maybe I don't want to lead with Edam, maybe I want the first cheese to be Gouda cheese. If I go back to my table of contents and haven't changed anything here and click on this, it's going to go to Edam and skip out the Gouda cheese. So when I'm thinking about navigation, I want to organize my navigation around the points I'm trying to tell. So instead of doing a slide zoom, I want to do a section zoom. And so I can just see the starting slides of those different sections. So I might want section 2 and section 3. And I'll hit insert. And what I can do here is have those two slides. We'll make them a little bit bigger. So here is our what we sell. And here is business results. So now if I navigate, this will take me to the beginning of the section. Now what's really powerful about this is if I go back here, and if you look on the left hand side, if I reorganize and bring mozzarella to the front, you will see that mozzarella is now at the front there. So no matter what organization I do within the actual section, the first slide in that section will be the first thing you go to. So you're able to structure, but your navigation remains consistent within the point itself. So a very, very powerful thing is to use sections to organize your thoughts, but also to structure the way you do your navigation. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope that's useful. Please comment if you have different ideas about how you utilize sections in the comments below, because I'd love to hear what you are doing and how it helps you with your PowerPoint ideas. Thank you for joining.